Last episode, we worked on getting the Ardoin Cloak 1 so we could teleport a lot more conveniently. We finished Plague City, which is the prerequisite to Biohazard. We got a few levels in Slayer and Hunter on the way, finished Biohazard to get us that Ardoin Cloak through a hell of a party. It was a great time. And then got some agility levels to use the Antique Lamp. So not too far, but let's see what we can get into this next episode. Okay, turns out I need to complete a couple quests before Death to the Dorgeshan, namely Goblin Diplomacy as well as the Lost Tribe. But since I'm walking by Doric's house, I figure I'll gather the materials real quick needed for the quest. I'll turn that in 2 seconds, and then we will move on to Goblin Diplomacy next. And there is Doric's quest. Got a bunch of mining XP. That got us to level 18. Sweet, that'll actually be really good for some future free-to-play quests that we'll need 15 mining for. So that'll help. Yeah, let's go do Goblin Diplomacy now. I love how top of the list of priorities for these Goblin is having a fashion show for armor. You know, Goblins really are one of the most fashion-oriented races in all of RuneScape, and I commend them for this. And boom! There is Goblin Diplomacy completed. Got a gold bar, some crafting experience. We got 9 crafting. That's not half bad. But even better, we can go down here, and we have completed everything needed to start the Lost Tribe, so we can get that bone crossbow. I'm looking forward to this. So let's go back to Lumbridge, and then let's get this taken care of, boy. Took a bit of a detour from doing the Lost Tribe. I realized if I'm going to unlock the bone crossbow, I'm really gonna need 28 range in order to do that, and currently my range level is 1. So I decided I'm going to mine some rocks, get some copper and some tin. I'm gonna make some bronze bars up until level 7 smithing. And then at level 7 smithing, I can smith bronze knives. So however many bronze bars I accumulate over the course of mining these and then smithing them into the bars, I'll take all those, I'll turn them into bronze knives, and then I'm going to go train some range basically as far as that'll take me. I think it'll get me fairly close, but for right now, I think that's the bigger priority, because after that, then we can worry about future quests, and you know, at least we'll have 28 range for the bone crossbow and not having to do it, you know, after the fact. So I will be right back as soon as we get these knives smithed. These last few bronze bars are going to get us a total of 510 bronze knives. That is not half bad for some range training. The good news here, too, is that we actually got up to level 13 smithing, so that's pretty fun. So yeah, let's take these bronze knives. I think I'm going to go kill some low-level enemies and then see how far we can get in this range training. With this last chicken, all of my 510 bronze knives have been used up. Obviously, you can see I wasn't super conservative with holding on to the knives, picking them all up, but, you know, it did give me 20 range, just got me 18 prayer from burying all those bones, and got a ton of feathers, over 2k worth, so that we can use that towards fletching training later on once you get there. Obviously, the bone crossbow is going to be the bulk of the early game stuff, but once I need some higher level arrows, I think that's going to be really beneficial to us. So with that, let's get going on to our next steps. This quest makes you talk to 4 NPCs to try to verify what's happened, and of course with my luck, I had to talk to Bob last, and of course Bob is the one who saw it. That was a waste of like an extra 10 minutes of me running around. But at least it progresses our quest, you know? Got an Evil Twin event right in the middle of this quest and got some uncut diamonds for it. That will add to the collection, be good later on for some, well, I don't really know what's going to be useful for it, but either way, it'll be fine. Let's get back on with the Lost Tribe quest. I don't know about you guys, but growing up, having to do this quest when I was like, what, 10 years old maybe at the time, going through this place in the dark and hardly seeing anything on the map, and not having a wiki to help me through it when I was growing up. This place scared the hell out of me. Still does, if I'm being quite honest. You know, it's not a fun place to be, but it feels a lot better getting through this as a grown adult rather than a small child. And yes, by the way, I am killing some imps so I can do the imp catcher quest. I'm just doing that on the side, just kind of gathering what I can, and hopefully in the next, couple hours worth of gameplay, I'll be able to just turn that in real quick. There is Lost Tribe quest complete. Got 3,000 mining XP, which gets us to level 27. Awesome. Also got a Ring of Life. I'm going to keep that on for some combat stuff later on. And then, finally, we can move on with Death to the Dorgeshan. But it does recommend a combat level of 30. So I'm thinking that it's good to get that up first. Now, please don't make fun of me, but I didn't realize that I can get a bone crossbow already. But I'm just going to complete this anyway. I feel like it's probably a smart idea to just get it out the way. So we're going to get that combat up first, and then we're going to move on with the quest line. So, completing Death to the Dorgeshan quest does require that combat level of 30, like I mentioned, right? Here's what I think the plan of action is. I'm going to do a couple of quests that are going to reward some significant combat experience, seeing that I really don't have that much combat level, not even 20 yet. Namely, Waterfall quest, probably Vampire Slayer, Witch's House, things that are going to get that up for me a little bit. Maybe Holy Grail if we can manage it. And then after that, we're going to come back to that later, just so we can fight Sigmund. He's going to be level 50. I don't feel really confident right now, but maybe I will feel more confident after we get done with those other quests. So we're going to get those taken care of first, and then we'll be back to it. Alright, real talk here. Every time I see myself throw this rope to that rock, I'm thinking, man, is this how Spider-Man feels? So, after grabbing a couple of those pebbles in that dungeon below the Tree Gnome Stronghold, if you didn't know, you can start Tree Gnome Village, and they will just take you right out the maze, which saves a ton of time. Plus, it gets me the quest started if I want to do it again later, and it's just an easy fast travel from now on. Alright, make sure use the urn on the chalice. Don't just take it. That'll wash you away. Bingo. Got a ton of strength and attack XP. Gets us 31 attack and strength. Perfect. 29 combat. Almost 30. That's not half bad. And so that'll set us up in a really good place. Who the heck is this guy? Get out of the shot, man. He's just doing this for clout, isn't he? Since I was at Ardoin, finishing up Waterfall quests and doing all that stuff, I just went ahead and hunted a few beads. I got all 4 of the beads for the Imp Catcher quest. I got my combat level up a fair bit. So I just figured it's an easy way to get some magic XP while I'm going to go do Vampire Slayer right after this. So it just made sense. Alright, we got a ton of magic XP, which gave us 10 magic. Perfect. Which will set us up for, in the future, we can enchant Sapphire Jewelry, which means games necklaces. Got this Amulet of Accuracy as well, which is going to be our best in slot right now. Gives us a pretty good amount of attack bonus compared to where we were before. And, yeah, let's move on to the Vampire Slayer, get some more attack XP. Alright, last hit, got him down. There is Vampire Slayer complete. Almost 5k attack experience, which gets us level 34 attack. That's really good. I'm looking forward to when we can hit 40 in all stats so we can start wearing some rune armor and using rune weapons in the future. Right now I'm using an iron longsword for everything, and so I'm just feeling a little weak right now. Went ahead, got 20 defense with a Mithril Sim, just a better in-slot weapon, at the Alcarid Warriors for the aggro. Also got 22 HP and an XP lamp, which I put in agility. Didn't quite level it up. Cool thing, though, is that I got 100k experience finally crossed off, so that's really good for the account. That 20 defense is going to let me wear some studded armor, which will be beneficial later on with the bone crossbow. So I'm starting to get a better idea in my head of how to move forward with this account in the short term. Okay, so I know we didn't get a ton done in this episode. We did gain over 100 total level, which is great, but I have a really good idea of what the roadmap looks like for the next episode. Number 1, I'm going to take all those feathers that we got from using the bronze knives and training ranged to fletch a bunch of arrows and get my range up to at least 28. At that point, I can go get a bone crossbow, and then I'm going to take that over to the fire giants after we finished that waterfall quest. It's going to get a ton of range experience. It's going to be a pretty decent moneymaker, especially if you're an Iron Man. Ideally, we're going to get a rune scimitar, which is going to be a great opportunity to get our combat levels up to 40. I want 40 in all three of them, attack, strength, and defense. So that way we can get the rune armor slot fixed by completing Dragon Slayer. I think the Dragon Slayer next episode is the big end goal for that episode, which is going to set us up really well for the long term. So stay tuned. Let's see what we can get done next week.